What's up, aliens? It's Big Al. Welcome to another dumb sports vlog. It's week 2. Football's here. I'm still excited. I feel like every Sunday morning is just going to be Christmas morning for me. But week 2 is here. I'm going to give you a preview of week 2. But first, let's recap the games I missed from week 1. I think I vlogged before the Sunday night game. So, Cowboys, Rams. It was a really good game. I watched the whole thing. Jalen Ramsey's penalty at the end was horseshit. I mean, he acted his way through that whole thing, that offensive pass interference. That was, I guess we're like basketball now where a good flop and good acting is worth something. So, really dumb. The Cowboys should have had that game, but oh well, life goes on. The Rams actually played a lot better than I thought they were. I think the Cowboys are decent, but the Rams actually played better than I thought they were. So, then who else do we have? We have Monday night. Steelers, baby. Steelers are all the way back. Big Ben's back. He looked rusty as hell through like a quarter and a half. And then they gave up a muff punt return, put defense in a bad spot, stupid penalty. They scored a touchdown after. The Steelers could have easily held the Giants to 6 points. 2 stupid mistakes, gave up some points, but that defense, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. That defense, Big Ben, Juju, Deontay Johnson, Benny Snell coming out of nowhere to run for 113 yards. I overreact a lot. So the Steelers, I'm going to say, are up there with the Chiefs and the Ravens. And quote me on that. Hold me to that to the end of the season. The Steelers are up there with the Chiefs and the Ravens, all right, in the AFC. What else? There's another game. Broncos, Titans. It was a good game. It was weird seeing Gostowski miss 4 field goals. The guy was perfect for like years with the Patriots, and all of a sudden he's on a different team, and he's just shankopotamus over here. It's insane to see stuff like that. And then, of course, Twitter goes insane. The whole Belichick-Brady debate about, is Brady a system quarterback? Is it just Belichick's system? Now you got Gostowski. Is he a system kicker? It's so stupid. I love the internet. I think half of the fun of watching football is going on Twitter and looking at how people are reacting to games and posting memes and different dumb stuff like that. What else? So the beginning of week 2, we had Thursday night football. We had Bengals at the Browns. This is such a classic Browns overreaction game. I have my buddy text me after. Shout out to Chris, huge Cleveland fan. Hasn't always been a Cleveland fan, but he's a Cleveland fan. Text me after the game. We have the same wins as you now, bitch. Okay. We're talking about week 2. You guys have played so far. We haven't yet. Let's calm down. I'm going to post a meme right here. This is exactly the embodiment of Cleveland after one football win against the worst team in the league last year. And plus, they gave up 30 points to an offense that averaged 16 points a game last year. Let's settle down a little bit, Cleveland. You only beat them by 5 points, 35-30. Baker looked good. I'm gonna not be biased here. Baker looked good. I didn't think he would. I was on the Browns suck train again after week 1 when they lost 38-6 to the Ravens. But Baker looked good. Odell looked good. They finally did what they needed to do with the freaking run game. Yeah, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, 2 all-star running backs. And for whatever reason, at the end of last year, Freddie Kitchens stopped running him. And now Stefanski is going to run him. And it worked. 35 points. That's a really good game. All right? Keep doing that. You're not going to be able to do that against the Steelers. So see what you can do. But, they look good on Thursday. I'll give them that. All right. Those are my recaps for the games I missed. I'll do week 2 preview. First, I want to say, good job, NFL. Good job, NFL, on preventing the spread of COVID. Because I thought without the bubble situation that basketball had, I thought COVID was going to run rampant through these NFL teams. But it's going surprisingly well. And week 1 went well. There's no spread amongst the teams. I think there were 2 positive cases. I didn't see what teams they were on, but I saw a report yesterday that there were 7,500 tests administered in a week period between personnel and players. And I think 2 players came back positive, no false positives. They confirmed they were positive. And it was like 5 training staff or something like that. So actually really good numbers for a league-wide week of playing and a global pandemic that's pretty contagious. So well done, NFL. But of course, with the coming of the end of week 1, we begin anew fantasy football injuries. Questionable, doubtful, all these words are going to run through my mind all day. The biggest one's going to be Michael Thomas. I know he's been eliminated already. He's not playing. But just fantasy football injuries in general suck. James Conner went out after like the first quarter on Monday night with the Steelers. And, I mean, we're just going to deal with this all year. Don't play James Conner anymore. I think Benny Snell's going to start taking over. But James Conner injured his leg. By Wednesday, he was a full participant in practice. So, like, what even happened? Michael Thomas hurt his leg pretty bad. Mike Evans was dealing with a hamstring. Almost didn't play on Sunday. Ends up playing. Gets 1 catch for 2 yards. At least it was a touchdown. I would have been furious. He just got me 1.2 points. But at least he scored a touchdown. Injuries, man. Injuries on top of COVID. I don't know how I'm going to do fantasy football this year. I mean, it's tripping me out. I guess whoever takes care of their body the best and whoever takes care of their teams the best, whoever's not goofing off with it. Don't draft any Washington players because we know their doctors hate their players. I don't know. Fantasy football's so weird. And then what else we got? Lineman destruction videos are back. If you haven't, watch Trent Williams absolutely destroy a Cardinals linebacker from last week. All right, offensive linemen are back. Trent Williams hasn't played in like 2 years, so that was kind of cool to see him just come out and just demolish a linebacker going to the next level. All right, let's get to my week 2 picks. I listed all the games here. I'm just going to go through them one by one. I'm in a pick 'em pool, and hopefully I say who I picked. But I actually picked the Bengals to beat the Browns on Thursday. They came close, but I lost that one already. So you could go completely opposite of me and be 100% right. Well, week 2 picks, here we go. Broncos at Steelers. Steelers by, I don't know, at least 15. The Broncos have a young startup offense, and the Steelers defense came out and proved to be amazing. I don't think the Broncos really have an offensive line. Their run game should be all right with Philip Lindsay and Melvin Gordon, but Drew Lock is hit and miss. He's only played like 3 really good games, barely got named the starter. He looked kind of suspect last week. They lost to the Titans. The Titans defense is all right, but I think the Steelers home opener, the Broncos don't have Von Miller. The defense is kind of suspect now. I think Steelers by at least 15 points. Second, we got Giants and Bears. I'm jumping on the Bears hype train because one of the podcasts I listen to, the guy's a huge Bears fan, and every time the Bears win, he says the Bears are back. Mitch Trubisky's back. But just the way the Giants looked last week, they don't look terrible, but they played a good Steelers team. But I'd say the Bears are still better. I think the Bears win this game by a few points, 3-4 points, maybe a touchdown. Nothing big. Falcons at Cowboys. The Falcons are so weird. The Falcons have to be the weirdest team. And if I was making bets, I don't think I'd ever bet for the Falcons. Even that year they made the Super Bowl run, they were like up 28-3 in the Super Bowl. It's weird, man. They next year they went like 5-11. They just fall apart. I have zero faith in them because of reputation alone. I think the Cowboys are decent. The Cowboys are at home opener. Give me the Cowboys in that one. Probably by a score or 2. Nothing crazy. 10 points at the most. Jags at Titans. This one's weird because the Jaguars won last week, and I suspected them to be completely tanking. The Titans came out, and they ran the ball well. They did their thing. Ryan Tannehill didn't put up a ton of passing yards. They won. Steven Gostkowski missed 4 kicks. I'm amazed he's still there. I would have not let him get on the plane ride home. But Jags at Titans is weird. The Titans, just because of their solid defense and adding Jadeveon Clowney, they have Vic Beasley, and the fact that they're going to pound the ball and they're going to run the ball, I'll take the Titans because that Jags defense, the Jags sold everyone. So give me the Titans in that. Vikings at Colts. I'm going to take the Vikings easily because the Colts frauded me last week. I thought the Colts were going to be solid with Phillip Rivers, and they were decent with Jacoby Brissett, and then they come in last week with Phillip Rivers and they lose to the Jags. Big upset. I don't know. I'm just going to think the Colts are frauds, and I'm going to say Vikings in this one for sure. Bills at Dolphins. I feel like this week's picks are really easy for me. I don't know why. Like, I look at the matchup and I don't have to think about it. Like, Bills at Dolphins. The Bills are going to demolish the Dolphins. Good defense. Josh Allen. I'm starting Josh Allen in like 3 fantasy leagues because he runs for touchdowns and then he throws for touchdowns. He's a good dual threat. I don't know what else there is to say. Bills are going to wipe the floor with the Dolphins. Might be the time to put Tua in just to get some good experience on that defense. You're not going to hang on to him for 5 games if you're down 20 points to the Bills. Might as well chuck him in there and see if he can pull that Alabama comeback that he had before his freshman year. Niners at Jets. Everyone's like, this is the game where, the Jets could sneak up on the Niners. It's in New York. George Kittle's out. I think they had a receiver out too. There's no way in hell the Niners lose this game. There's literally no way. The Niners are way too good to come out and lose to the Jets. The Jets have no identity. Le'Veon Bell's out. Frank Gore starting at running back. He's 106 years old. Give me the Niners by at least 20 points. And you think I'm overreacting. Like, watch these games. That's not going to be a close game at all. This one's interesting. Rams at Eagles. I almost took the Eagles because they're at home. I guess that doesn't mean anything anymore. If no one's going to have fans, then home games don't really matter. Maybe the travel, because the Rams had to fly from LA to Philly. But the Rams looked decent last week. They have studs. They have Jalen Ramsey. They have and Jared Goff's all right. They have Aaron Donald, obviously. They just extended Robert Woods. They just extended Cooper Kupp. First off, is there a salary cap anymore? Like, how do these teams get away with all these extensions? And who else is playing for them if they're paying Jared Goff like $100 million, over $100 million? Jalen Ramsey is the top paid corner. Aaron Donald better be the top paid defensive tackle. And then you're extending Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods. It wasn't for a ton of money, but they extended him. Is there a salary cap anymore? I thought the Rams were like close to the cap, and then they're just extending players left and right. Jalen Ramsey, all these guys. Like, is there a salary cap even? I don't get that. I'm not a finance guy, at least an NFL finance guy. But I'm going to take the Rams in this game just because the Eagles let everyone down and lost to Washington last week. So I'm going to overreact and say that the Eagles suck just because they lost to Washington. Panthers at Buccaneers. This is interesting to me. Tom Brady's going to win this game. Even though Charles Godwin is out, don't play him in your fantasy team. If you see this before the game, don't play him. He's out. Mike Evans is full participant. I like Ronald Jones in this game. I'm going to stay loyal to USC no matter what. But Panthers at Bucks, I don't know. Teddy Bridgewater disappointed me last week. He came out and went 5-0 with the Saints last year. And then I thought he was going to do really well on the Panthers this year. And then they were down by like 20 points to the Raiders and had to fight and claw back, and they still lost. But I don't know. New coach in Carolina. Give me the Bucks just because of experience. And they're at home. Tom Brady is pissed off from loss to New Orleans last week. I'm not going to say the Bucks are frauds, but I'm going to say that they're going to win this game at least. They're not going to beat the Saints in their division, but they'll probably win games like this. Washington and Arizona. This one's interesting too because Washington came back and won last week. But at Arizona, they're flying across the country. New time zone. Arizona came out and smacked the 49ers last week. They won by 4 points, but they smacked them and they surprised them. Big upset. I'll take Arizona just because young upstart offense. Got DeAndre Hopkins, played well. Set his career high for catches last week in his first game with the Cardinals. Kyler Murray looked good. Give me Arizona for sure. Chiefs at Chargers. The sad thing about this is they're opening their stadium with the defending Super Bowl champions to put up 50 points a game. Chiefs by 20-plus points for sure. What saddens me about this game is Mike Pouncey had a hip issue and he's out for the season. And I don't know what it was, but this story really hit me where I was like, dang, that sucks. They're opening a new stadium and Mike Pouncey's going to miss it. Honestly, this is how my mind thinks. I don't know if it's because I'm a new dad or I was legit sad looking at my phone and I was like, not going to cry, but I was really sad that Mike Pouncey was going to miss the opening in the new stadium, especially after playing for a shitty Chargers team for several years now. I was like, he deserves to open that stadium and he's going to miss it. I don't know if I'm too emotional. I was really bummed for him. His brother Marquise is on the Steelers, longtime Steeler. So I was just like, I don't know. I'm sad. I'm sad for him. Chiefs by 100 probably. Ravens and Texans, this could be a good game. They played last year. I think the Ravens won last year. Give me the Ravens again. That sucks for the Texans. They got to open with the Chiefs and the Ravens. I don't even know who they play next week, but that's a hard first 2 weeks. You're playing the two best teams in the AFC. Give me the Ravens, even though they're traveling. Lamar Jackson's going to show out again. Texans' defense isn't all there. Ravens' defense is actually solid. So the Texans won't look like they suck again. Like, they didn't look like they sucked against the Chiefs last week, but you could tell the Chiefs were the better team. I say the same thing happens where the Texans lose, but they don't look like they suck. They just look like they got beat by a better team. I think that's exactly what happens. Patriots to Seahawks, Sunday night. I like this game. This game's more interesting with Tom Brady, obviously. Cam Newton should play all right. They ran him too much last week, I think. They ran him 15 times. That's not a Belichick offense. They're using what they have, which is a Belichick offense, using the exact tools you have to succeed. Running the ball 15 times. I don't know. I don't believe in Cam Newton running the ball, just like I didn't believe in Robert Griffin III running the ball. He ran the ball a bunch. He was too skinny. He got hurt. He got hit and his knee got hurt. I mean, that's what you do. But you hit quarterbacks. Cam Newton's always been the difference because he was a big quarterback. But then one thing changed. He became a vegan. I said that right. He became a vegan. When you go full vegan, you get injured all the time. Arian Foster, now Cam Newton. I think Kaepernick was a vegan in his season when he just fucking blew. But don't become a vegan in the NFL. I'm begging you. Like, it will ruin your career. Cam Newton became a vegan. He missed all last year with a foot injury. He's been injured a couple times the past couple of years. That's my theory. Don't be a vegan. All right. For that reason alone, Russell Wilson's going to dominate the Sunday night game at home in Seattle because Cam Newton's a vegan. And the Patriots aren't going to be as successful as you become because Cam Newton's a vegan. They're going to have to start Jarrett Stidham in probably week 4. I say week 4. Can't be a vegan in the NFL. Arian Foster proved that it sucked. He became a vegan. I read an article. He said he became a vegan to help recover from injuries. Where are you getting your protein, fool? You just getting your protein from whey? It can't be good for you. You need to eat the flesh of other animals in order to recover. All right, last one. Saints at Raiders. Opening of the Death Star. Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas is being opened Monday night against the Saints. You couldn't have picked a worse team to open up against. Just like the Chargers opening up against the Chiefs, now you're going to take the best team in the NFC and you're going to throw them in the Raiders Stadium. The Raiders had a good game last week. They went out to Carolina, ran the ball well. Josh Jacobs, 3 touchdowns. But you can't bring in the Saints when you're opening your stadium and get the shit kicked out of you. Now, if they win, then it's a huge upset, and it's Mark Davis like, yeah, I'm a genius, yeah, whatever. Freaking bringing the Saints in to open up your stadium. Forget that, man. If I was opening up a stadium, I would wipe the floor with someone. It would be the Jets. It would be the Dolphins. It would be the Bengals. I don't know, man. There's got to be better teams to pick that you can just wipe the floor with, or at least win a good game against. Maybe bringing like the Vikings or someone average that would just like, you would mop the floor with them. I don't know. Saints by 15 at least. The Raiders are going to do what the Raiders do. They're going to look good in the beginning of the season. Something's going to happen, and they're not going to look good anymore. They're not going to look good against the Saints. This isn't a Texans situation where they're just losing to a better team, and they're not looking terrible. They're probably going to look terrible. All right? The Saints are no joke. There's my picks for the week. All right. We got college football. College football's coming back. The one thing I got to say about college football game day is those guys are high as shit. All right? All the announcers, Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, those guys came out and gave their playoff projections. I forgot who it was, but one of them had Texas in there. You think Texas is going to be a top 4 team? Even without the Pac-12 playing, Texas is not a top 4 team. I don't think that really helps anything. I don't think the Pac-12 really helps the situation. One had Texas in his top 4 in the playoff in January, and another one had Oklahoma State. Where the hell is Oklahoma State coming in all this? Oklahoma State won their game 16-7 yesterday against an unranked team. You think Oklahoma State's going to go to the college football playoff for the first time ever? First time BCS, all that? I don't know when the last time they were in the national championship conversation. That's insane. Oklahoma State, you are high, sir. I forgot who it was. I got to go back and look because I was pissed. All right. What else? The Big Ten's coming back, so we get to see Ohio State mop the floor with, I don't know, everyone. I saw a weird stat, and I don't know if it's true or not, that Iowa's been avoiding Ohio State, and they haven't played them in like 18 years. How are you in the same conference as someone you haven't played them in 18 years? Go be a man. Go play Ohio State. Go get your ass kicked, and then come back and move on. Don't sit there and try to freaking avoid them because they're good every year. No. You go there, you go to the horseshoe, get your ass kicked, and then come back. All right? I'm going to get mad about college football now because the Pac-12 is not getting their shit together at all. And we're not going to see USC football this year. The Big Ten got their shit together, and they're going to play, and they're going to be in the national championship conversation. But come on, man, get your stuff together. And they're like, oh, we're going to play in the spring. We're going to play in the spring. Who are you going to play in the spring? You're going to play the Pac-12 in the spring. You're not going to be in the national championship conversation. What's the point? What's the point of playing a bunch of exhibition games in the spring? You're already losing everyone to the draft. USC lost 2 good players to the draft already. What's the point? Bring it back now. Get it back before the end of October. Play 8 games and then try to get someone in the college football playoff. It'll probably most likely be Oregon this year, unless USC somehow mops the floor with the Pac-12. But try to get someone in there. It's been so long since the Pac-12 had a representative in the national championship. I mean, get someone to go. The Pac-12 is already the laughingstock of freaking college football because of the lack of national championships in the past 15 years. Now we just got to send someone to go freaking play in the game at least. This year you're just going to give up and not even let anyone play. National championship in January. Our season's going to start in January. Come on, man. Get it together. I hate the Pac-12. I hate Larry Scott as a commissioner. I don't know the guy, but if I knew him, I'm pretty sure I'd hate him. All right, let's talk a little basketball. Basketball's almost over. It's going well. Except for the Bucks losing. The Celtics are losing. That makes me happy. How weird would it be if we had Heat and Nuggets in the finals? I don't think the Nuggets get past the Lakers. The Nuggets scrape past the Clippers, which is insane. What happened to the Clippers? I can't even talk crap because the Bucks lost to the Heat, but what happened to the Clippers? They fell apart. Paul George and Kawhi both fell apart. What a time to be alive. That was so funny. There's so many annoying Clipper fans out here too. The fact that they lost, hilarious to me. That's all I'm going to talk about basketball. It's okay. Basketball's almost over. At least football's here, so I care less about basketball. I think I loved basketball.